Good day, everyone. Wanted to pretty much make this video on emphasize on commercial vehicles and commercial driver's license. I'm going to be talking majority out of the North Carolina rules. I know all of that derives off of the Federal Motor Carrier or Federal Highway Traffic Safety Association or Administration, however you want to call them. Anyway, so or FMCSA, sorry, Federal Motor Safety. Oh my gosh, I already forgot what the daggum acronym is again. Hang on, let me find that out. I'm going off of memory here and it's hurting me. Sorry, it's Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA. Their direct website is fmcsa.dot.gov. That site there, they regulate all commercial vehicles and licensing. So they do monitor and regulate the DOT numbers and motor carrier numbers. Those are for your tractor trailers, intrastate, meaning inside of that state only, moving goods around, or interstate commerce, which is your tractor trailers that are going state to state across the country, north, south, east, west. So I'm just going to be speaking really on the licensing and endorsements today, and hopefully what I talk about does answer some questions, because I see a lot of videos and shorts out there of guys complaining of highway patrol in any state, or specifically here in North Carolina as well. I've seen a few videos too that they are complaining that DOT gave them a ticket because of this, or they're saying you have to do this because you don't have this correct licensing. And obviously the driver says, well, my company said I could do it. Well, you know what? I'm here to answer those questions and keep you guys out of trouble. That way, when you do get inspected, if you get inspected, all your stuff's in order and you don't have any issues. You can, pretty much pull back and be like, okay, this is why this does this, and I done it correctly. Why are you hassling me? So, kind of trying to get the muddy out of the water. So, here we go. I am going to reference the general statutes of North Carolina in some of these where I'm actually reading the stuff. That way you guys can look it up yourselves and also read it for yourselves. Okay, so I'm going to start some definitions. Those will be located in North Carolina General Statute 20-4.01. So I'm going to start with a Class A motor vehicle. Class A motor vehicle is your common type you see around tractor trailers. It doesn't always have to be a tractor trailer as well either. It can also be a vehicle that has a GVWR, which is gross vehicle weight rating, which is on the door sticker. I'll show you one here in a second so you can see what I'm talking about there. That has at least 26,001 pounds. And included in that combination, a towed unit that has a GVWR of at least 10,001 pounds. That makes it a Class A. So what makes a Class B? I'm going to go through these and then I'll break them down here in just a little bit. So a Class B motor vehicle is a single vehicle that's GVWR of 26,000 or more pounds. So, and towing a unit that is GVWR less than 10,001 pounds. There is a Class C out there. It's really rare. I'd have to look up what a Class C, like give an example one, because I rarely see it. So a Class C is obviously anything that's not falls under the Class A or B. So, or a combination motor vehicle that's not included in a Class A or B. Realistically, just reading that, a Class C is get my camera turned around. Sorry, I don't know why my camera won't turn around. So a Class C would be this Ford Explorer right here, towing that 6x10 trailer right there. So I know for a fact that trailer is GVWR at 3,000 pounds. That's less than 10,001. Also is not a commercial motor vehicle. That vehicle right there is also GVWR, less than 26,000 pounds. So there's your Class C towed combination unit. Either way, it's all less than 26,000 pounds, and it's not used commercially. So that would be your Class C driver's license. Class C driver's license. So with that being said, those are Class A, B, and C regular, just regular vehicle. All right. So we'll make some commercial. A commercial motor vehicle. Any of the following motor vehicles that are designed or used to transport passengers or property. So I can get a little handsy. Yeah, I can carry property with the setup I just showed you. So, okay, so this is just a basic commercial motor vehicle definition. This will be federal 49 CFR 390.5. So, basic definition found in that statute refers to a vehicle used on a highway in interstate commerce that meets any of the following criteria, which is your Class A, B, or C, which your weights. So gross vehicle weight rating or combination weight rating, or gross combination weight of 10,001 or more, whichever is greater. So, or is designed to transport more than eight passengers, including the driver. Is designed to transport 16 or more, including the driver, and is not used to transport passengers for compensation, or is transporting hazardous materials in quantities requiring the vehicle to be placarded. We'll get into that hazmat later. So, definition includes smaller commercial vehicles as well as those requiring a CDL to operate. So, areas of regulation, you just fall into general law, general common sense as well. Driver qualification, hours of service, cargo securement, vehicle marking, inspection and maintenance, and so forth. So your owner-operators, they have a lot more to look after of their own equipment, and also, are they legal to be doing what they're doing? Do they have the correct licensing to tow and haul whatever they need to haul? Then you got your line haulers, which are your company guys, say Snyder Trucking or Swift Trucking. Those guys that just get hired just to drive a company truck and just haul whatever their dispatcher or agent, however they do. I've never hauled for anyone. It's I've been owner operator, so yeah, I've never drove like a commercially for a company like Swift or example like that. So that's that. Now let me move on to the licensing now, because CMV vehicles, commercial motor vehicles, I can get really deep into that, and I kind of don't want to for this video. I'll make a separate video specifically on that. Right now I'm just going to stick to licensing and endorsements. Alright, I'm just going to get this out there as well. So, commercial driver's licenses are required for drivers, paid or volunteer, who operate vehicles in North Carolina that are designed or used to transport passengers or property. So, they are not required to drive recreational vehicles, military equipment, fire or emergency equipment, or certain farm vehicles. But a driver must have a regular license of the appropriate class. So, recreational vehicles, and I hear about those a lot too. You don't need a CDL to drive an RV around, but you need a CDL to drive a dump truck. It's just the way it is. Military, fire, and emergency personnel, they're a little different. They have their own policies with that as well. For me, I am a volunteer fireman as well. I went into it. I had a Class A license anyway, so I didn't really have to go through and get the Class B license, because most fire trucks are a Class B vehicle. They are GVWR over 26,000 pounds. Most of them are registered for 33,000 pounds all the way up to 80,000 pounds. So it can be it can be a little hectic with that. So you have to follow your policy and procedure for whatever department you're on as far as emergency services go. Military, same thing. They got their own way of doing stuff. So it's, and farm vehicles, farm exemption vehicles do have their own class of, as far as the statutes go on what they can and can't do with certain types of license. As you know, tractors, they can ride them up down the road, yeah, but they gotta have the certain, they gotta have the slow moving vehicle triangles on the back, flashing lights, hazard lights, if so equipped, and they can't go over a certain speed. So it's the same thing with farm registered vehicles, as far as your tractor trailers go, um, moving grain, corn, stuff like that from the farm to a mill for sale. So a CDL is not required for that, as long as they're actually going to and fro from direct farm to where the place is being sold. All right, so driver training, entry level driver training. So on February 7th, 2022, North Carolina DMV implemented a driver's training program. So that means, yes, you have to go through a school that has the appropriate registration and is approved, registered training provider to obtain a CDL. So successful completion of that would be required for persons that are obtaining a Class A or B license, upgrading a Class B to a Class A CDL. Yeah, upgrading from a CDL Class B to a CDL Class A, or obtaining a school bus, passenger, or hazmat endorsement. More info on that, I'll drop the link on the FMCSA. You can find it on that website. Alright, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, so your Class A license, once you complete the driver training school or what have you, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the procedures after you get out done from the school. I'm pretty sure you don't just go straight and get a CDLA. Gosh, sorry, I don't have that info. So before that, I'm pretty sure it's still the same thing. You just have to have that training. But you have to go get a CDL learner's permit. So that requires a test at the DMV, and then you go and get your, oh Lord, you get your permit. You have to wait. It's good for 6 months. That permit is good for 6 months, whatever class vehicle you're driving. So that don't mean you can go out there and drive by yourself. You have to have someone with you with that same class of license that covers that vehicle you are driving. Then you can go out and drive. So after that, once that 6 months is up and you still have not got your full CDL yet, you have to go back to DMV, renew it. They'll only renew it twice, and then it gets a little hanky. I think they recharge you you have to go through the process again to get the permit, and it's either way, get it in your first 6 months, please, or else you're gonna be getting a headache trying to get DMV and then trying to do that crap all over again. For me, I'm one and done. I like doing stuff straight right the first time and get done, get out of there. So that permit, once you got it, you can drive for so many days, or for 6 months. Sorry, it's valid for 180 days. So you have to hold that permit for 14 days before you can go to DMV and schedule a road test with an examiner from the DMV. Once you pass that, then you get your license, whatever class you tested in. So the road tests, you're pretty much just going through your pre-trip. You're pulling and backing. I'll have to pull up a diagram because I can't remember exactly what all you're doing in your testing. I'll get to that in just a second as well. So, let's see. Yeah, once you're into level driver training, it is completed, or that course or whatever. Have to make an appointment to go to DMV, and you know that. So, Class A commercial motor vehicle, we went over that. Your tractor being GVW over 26,001, and your trailer being GVW over 10,000 pounds. So, I do have examples of that here on my site. So that truck right there, that GVWR of that truck is 46,000 pounds. And the trailer behind it, you can see it right there, that CVS. So that trailer right there is GVWR at 68,000 pounds. So legally, you can't be over 80,000 pounds without a permit. So that truck and that trailer, combination together, they can gross weight 80,000 pounds without a permit. That's what it's legally tagged and ready for. I did have it rated for 80,000 pounds. So you can get specialty permits. You know, that's a whole nother rigmarole. Specialty permits to be over 80,000 pounds. So now your Class B vehicles. So Class B vehicles would be just that. Oop, I won't focus over there. There we go. Would be just that truck and towing a trailer less than 10,000 pounds. And this is gonna look funky, but towing this little 5x10 right here. Yeah. My Hudson flight deck trailer right there, that GVWR is 14,000 pounds. So that'd be over your limit. So I would need a Class A CDL to drive that truck and pull that trailer with. I have been pulled over with that before. So here's an example of mine. So I had an F550, which is GVWR at can't remember now. It was 2002. 19,000? Yeah, it was GVWR at 19,000 pounds. So, and that trailer had that trailer on there, which was 14,000 pounds. You do the math, that's, oh my gosh, 33,000 pounds. So, yes, I had to tag it for 33,000 pounds. I only had it tagged for 28,000 pounds. Yeah, I jacked up. So, the motor carrier officer that pulled me over and checked that, he did not write me a citation for it. He just, he was very informal. He told me what I needed to do to fix that. He told me why I had to do that. So once I got that changed over, that truck turned into a Class B vehicle because it was registered to a company and it had a DOT number on the side of it. It was a commercial motor vehicle by definition. Even though it was under 26,000 pounds GVWR, it's still a commercial motor vehicle because the license plate says it's, Ooh, hang on. I take that back. Definition of commercial motor vehicle does not, just because the license plate says commercial, does not make it a commercial motor vehicle. Commercial motor vehicles are only GVWR at over 26,001 pounds. So, I was towing in combination commercially. That means I had to have Class A license because combined weight was over 26,000 pounds. And the trailer was over 10,000 pounds. There we go. Sorry about that. So, by itself, just by the door sticker, that truck was not a Class B vehicle. It was a Class C vehicle. Hooked that trailer to it, it turned into a Class A vehicle. It can get funky out there, guys. Be careful, please. So, alright, so that's Class A and Class B. After you go take your stuff, and I'm sorry I'm repeating stuff. I really am. So, moving on to endorsements now. Once you got your license, once you got your schooling done, you got your permit, you waited a 14-day period, you went took your road test and your backing test and all that stuff, and you passed that, and you're so happy you got that Class A or Class B driver's license that says commercial driver's license on it. You're good to go. So, okay, you work a little bit and be like, I want to get some endorsements. I want to do different things. I want to make more money. Yeah, that's why a lot of guys do get endorsements. They do more in the company. As far as these vehicles go, they can tow more, haul more, do more stuff, make more money. So, there are restrictions as well. There are restrictions. Be careful with restrictions. They'll get you hard. Anyway. So, commercial endorsements, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. There's only 6 of them. I've had, let's see. That's hazmat. Tank vehicle hazmat. So I've had 4 of the 6. I've had them. Well, actually, I tell you about it. There's more. There's another one out there. Motorcycle endorsement. You can't get that on the CDL, but you can also get that on the regular driver's license too. So that's I'm looking at commercial commercial driver. Motorcycles, you know, you're on your own with those. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna start out with the T endorsement. So T stands for combination vehicles with double or triple trailers. Let me throw this out there. In North Carolina, you do not come in this state with a triple trailer. You do not move a triple trailer on the highways in North Carolina, no matter if you're going across state or not. DOT will light you up. So the T endorsement is doubles, triples. There's no skills test required to add that endorsement. It's just going DMV and taking a simple, I think it's either, I can't remember if it's 15 or 20 question. I can't remember. Either way, that's all you do there. That's what any endorsement. So some of them do have skills tests. We'll get to that. So there's your doubles, triples. So your N is tank vehicles. I have that endorsement. I still actually have that endorsement. I have twin and tank still. I don't have. I dropped my passenger and school bus. So I can talk about those. So this is the big one here that I've recently been seeing some shorts on. So tank endorsements. Now, description of a tank and when you need it. A commercial motor vehicle that is designed to transport any liquid or gaseous materials within a tank or tanks having an individual rated capacity of more than 119 gallons and an aggregate rated capacity of 1,000 gallons or more, that is either permanently or temporarily is big in there. It says or. So temporarily does matter. Attached to the vehicle or the chassis. So, that is an N endorsement, which means tank vehicle. Skills test required? No. Just go DMV, take tests like you would double, triple. There's a CDL handbook you can get from DMV. You can actually download it online. It'll tell you everything you need to know. And then you can go take your tests. So, let me harp on that tank vehicle endorsement there for a second. Alright, so I may be in the septic wastewater industry, so I built myself a pump trailer to haul septage, which is, wastewater, septic tanks. Anyway, so I obviously, yes, was doing that commercially. Yes, I was. I was taking other people's property, which is, the septage, and, for a fee, I was hauling it away, taking it to a dump site. So, yeah, I needed a tank endorsement, because that tank was 800 gallons. I take it back. It was 950. It was just shy of 1,000 gallons. Just shy of 1,000 gallons. But it was on a trailer, and it was permanently attached. So, like I said, so that tank, that's over your 119 gallons. But it was less than 1,000 gallons. So, it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to say. You need it, but the statute says more than 119 and rated capacity of 1,000 or more. I was told by some DOT guys, yes, I did need an endorsement, but by definition, no, I didn't, because it says and, doesn't say or. Your ICB totes. Wow, that's really hard to explain. That's actually like drawing on me a little bit now. So your IBC totes, your 275 or 300 gallon totes, like you see right there. That one there, that's my fuel. That's my fuel that we use. So it is not attached to any vehicle at all. So pulling that sucker down the road with some liquid in it. Yeah, you I guess you would need a tank endorsement, but it's less than 1,000 gallons. So what do you do? Well, it's still more than 119 gallons. Aggregate rated capacity of 1,000 gallons or more. That tank can only hold 300 gallons. Drive a hard bargain there, DOT. Drive a hard bargain. Alright, so rereading this, the way DMV printed this daggum, or has this thing printed off, I it does not have any revision dates. They probably did revise this. I did read they did revise it, so back in 2011. So still correct information. So yeah, here we go. When do you need a tanker endorsement? According to FMCSA, you need a tanker endorsement of a vehicle that is loaded liquid gas containers. Cargo that includes liquid or gas containers capacity greater than 119 gallons. And vehicle or tanks that are total combined liquid or gas volume exceeding 1,000 gallons. So that 300-gallon tote, it meets it. Yeah, you gotta have a tank endorsement. All right. Sorry, guys. There's nothing in it. I don't think you I don't think you need it. Just drain them out. If it's water, drain it out. Fill it wherever you're going or wherever you get to. Just fill it up. So it is loaded liquid or gas. Propane. That's another biggie. It's not that hard to get actually a propane license to sell in North Carolina. I've had one. It's not that easy, or it's not that hard. So I can become a distributor for propane. Get a bunch of 20 gas grill cylinders. Order me a 1,000-gallon propane tank out here. Get a gas company filled up. I can sell propane. Easy. Those truckload of gas cylinders. If I want to go pick them up myself, saves myself on shipping. I can get in trouble if they're filled up, but if they're empty, is what it is. They're empty cylinders. They're not gonna hurt anything. They're just steel, hauling steel. There's not really much. People do it all the time. Driving a vehicle around myself, actually. Okay. So yeah, there goes your tank endorsement. You need one if your vehicle has loaded cylinders or containers with liquid or gas in them. Combined liquid or volume 1,000 gallons or more, you need an endorsement. So 119 gallons or more, you need an endorsement. If they're empty, you don't need it. Alright, I'm going to get off of that. One more thing. Sorry. These regulations are designed to include tanker vehicles as well as dry vans to haul large containers. So, yeah, that's what I mean about the IBC tote. Example of that is the containers. The intermediate bulk containers. That's what IBC stands for, which holds well over 119 gallons. Most of them are 275 gallons. Some of them are 300 gallons. All right. If all these factors apply, a tanker endorsement is needed. This is why a driver hauling over 1,000 gallons of material in an IBC needs an endorsement. But the driver hauling over 1,000 gallons of individually packed water in a dry van does not. So, you got 1,000 gallons of bottles of water. You don't need it. That's why this stuff is so confusing. That is really why this stuff is so confusing. Because individual containers are not over 119 gallons. So, yeah. So there's propane cylinders. There's 20-gallon propane cylinders. I guess you don't need it. Because they're less than... But you need a daggum hazmat. Because they're over... what's the weight? Yeah, 999 pounds. I think it's 999 pounds. But that's hazmat. That's another realm. Anyway. Now I am completely done with the tanker endorsement. Sorry. Alright, moving on down the list. So, hazmat. Hazmat is any vehicle used to transport hazardous materials or waste in placarded amounts, as identified above. Correction. Let me start over with that one. I jumped down to the next one. Oops. So, hazmat is used any vehicle used to transport any material that has been designated as hazardous under 49 United States Code 5103 and is required to be placarded under subpart F of 49 CFR Part 172, or any quantity of a material listed as a select agent or toxin, 42 CFR Part 73. That's hazardous material. That'd be hazmat endorsement. That's an H. So that's the more involved endorsement. Yeah, H is an involved endorsement. You have to go through rigorous background checks through the TSA, which is oh gosh, Transportation Safety Administration. Um, Complete the application. Go through DMV or TSA with the application process. Complete a medical screening, pass the written exam from DMV, and then you submit all that stuff, and then submit your security screening stuff, and once you get through all that, there you have it. If they find something, I guess they'll get it, notify you, and let you know what you got going. But uh, that's that for the H endorsement. X endorsement is tank vehicle hazardous material. So any vehicle used to transport hazardous material or waste in a placarded amount as identified as above with the H, which requires both the tank and H endorsements. That is an X. That is X. X endorsement. So, with just reading that, a placard. Alright, so placarding is hazmat shipments, unless specifically accepted. There are lists of that. Your shipper would know that. The driver should know that mess too, because you get caught with, oh God knows, more than 500 pounds of something. You ain't got it placard. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. So any hazmat shipment in excess of 500 pounds, and transported for a fee. I mean, I don't know why that should be in there, but it is. They required. That would require placarding. Ship greater amounts in the same manner. So 500 pounds of anything that's hazardous, you need to have a placard on it. But the endorsement wise, as far as X goes, would be your gasoline, propane, your AmeriGas trucks that do various gases, like your natural gas trucks. Those AmeriGas trucks and National Welders. Those guys are they're hauling around nitrogen, argon, mixes of gases, propane, acetylene, that stuff there. Um, so moving on down the list, moving on to our passenger endorsement. Passenger sounds what it is. It's any vehicle designed to transport 16 or more passengers, including the driver. School buses, city buses, church buses. Yeah. I'm gonna pull back on that church bus, but yes, you do. You do. Not gonna think hard on it. Not gonna think on it. Not gonna think on it. Anything designed to carry 16 or more, including the driver. There you go. There it is. That's your passenger endorsement. Easily common seen. City buses, school buses, church buses, private school buses. Yeah. So, those vans that you see, like the E-Series Ford vans, or those, oh man, yeah, your church vans. Those are 15. Manufacturer gives those 15. So, yeah, those don't need passenger endorsement. All right. So moving on down to the other one. Let's see. Any school bus endorsement. It's an S. Yeah. Passenger and school bus requires skills tests. So you have to go through, training before you can grab those endorsements. Because school bus has a pocket card. I'll insert a picture of that. And those you'll need that. You need a passenger endorsement and the school bus card to be able to drive a school bus. I had to have it. Hence my shirt there. Yeah, I was a school bus mechanic. I had to have it to drive a daggum school bus. To even just test drive them on the road. Even though I'm not out there to pick or drop passengers, I still needed it. So, restrictions. There's. You can have restrictions on any kind of driver's license. You can have restrictions on any license. Oh, so I mean, just explaining them, I don't have much, The only restriction I had on my license was I did have a K restriction. I'll talk about that in a second, and I had the one restriction, which is corrective lenses. But I got LASIK eye surgery, and I have perfect vision now. So I dropped that restriction on my license. I have no restrictions now. That is awesome. So sorry, airplane. So start out as far as CDL goes. Now, if your vehicle you're testing does not have air brakes, so that'll be your. It's rare to see a vehicle that's rated for, like, say 28 or 29 GVW, 1,000 pounds, and not be air braked. But they're out there. They are out there. So your box trucks. There we go. That's a good example. I've seen some box trucks with hydraulic brakes, and they're like 26-foot, bodies, and yeah, it's and they still have hydraulic brakes. So if you test your CDL, whatever vehicle you test in will dictate what restriction you have on your license. So you're testing without air brakes, you're going to have an L restriction. That don't mean loser. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they went with that, but anyway, L restriction is no air brake equipped CMV. So if you get caught driving a commercial motor vehicle that has air brakes and you have an L restriction, you can be charged with no operator's license. That goes for any endorsement, any restriction. You drive a vehicle that you're not endorsed and you have restriction not to drive, you can be cited for driving no operator's license. Then you have to go through the rigmarole of the process of the courts and the DMV and lawyers, and all that stuff can rack up on you. So know what you want to get into. Try to get in it early and not have any problems down the road. So I'm here to educate, just talk off my experiences and try to answer some questions, because I don't like conflict. Nobody does, really. So if the vehicle, let's see, moving on, if the vehicle used for testing is equipped with air over hydraulic, I've seen one vehicle like that, and at the mechanic standpoint, they're a pain in the butt to work on sometimes. It can be a little challenging. But anyway, so no full air brake equipped vehicle. If you test in that, you'll have a Z restriction. If a vehicle used for testing is equipped with air over hydraulic brakes, don't really see those no more. If they are, I hadn't seen them, coming off assembly line nowadays. But if you test like that with the air over hydraulic, it's a no full air brake equipped vehicle. You can't have one that has just straight air brakes, meaning from the brake pedal it's air actuated to the brake application is air. You got to have something in between that, meaning you have to have hydraulics on your brake pedal, and to your wheel it's air. So that's what makes it air over hydraulic. You're using oh my gosh, flip that around. Brake pedal's air, at your wheels is hydraulic. So air versus wet, air over wet. It's a mechanic term there. So that's that. That's a Z restriction. Vehicle used for testing is equipped with automatic transmission. I've heard some guys harp about that too. It's like, man, they'll give you an E restriction if you don't, drive with a stick shift when the man tested you. That is true. I honestly didn't know that restriction was out there until I got to looking at it. And I was like, wow, I did not know that. That's so. Yeah. So if you test let's see, trying to think. Yeah, for instance, you drive a school bus. I mean, new date nowadays, everything's going automatic, automated, whatever you want to call it. So school buses, most of them are automatic nowadays. So if you test Class B with your CDL with that, you're going to have the no manual transmission restriction. So, that's it on that. It's the easiest thing I can give you. So, next would be the no tractor trailer. No tractor trailer restriction. That is in big O. Big O. So, not that O. Vehicle combination used for testing is not a truck tractor semi-trailer combination. License must show a no tractor trailer CMV restriction. So, example of that. Let's see. Example. So, let's say my service truck here is okay, I'm testing. Let me back up. So, if I'm taking my Hudson trailer, that's over there, and hooking it to this truck, and combined GVWR is over 26,000 pounds. Yes, that's a commercial motor vehicle. So, and I'm obviously using it for commercial purposes, making money with it. So, I mean, we're past that. I don't know why I keep harping on that. So, we're going to say that I go to DMV, do my road skills tests like that. Okay, trailer's over 10,000. My truck, it's just say it's 26,000. Okay, all right. So we're over 26,000 combined weight, no matter what. So I have to have no track trailer because it's not a truck tractor, and the trailer's not a semi trailer. So I mean that's it. I can't take my Class A. I can't take my Class A and drive that with that 48-foot trailer right there. I can only drive this with a flat deck trailer, whatever trailer that's over 10,000 pounds. So your service trucks, for example, you got a service truck that's GVWR 33,000 pounds. It's a Class B vehicle. You put a trailer behind it. It's a panel hitch trailer, 20,000 pound GVW. That's a Class A vehicle, but it is not a tractor trailer. You can only drive that if you test in it. There you go. K restriction. I've had that before because I got my CDL when I was 18. Fun fact, you can get them when you're 18, but you can only drive intrastate. Intra, not intra. Intrastate means you can only drive within your state. You cannot cross state lines in the CMV. If you do, you're driving out of license. So, K restrictions, they can be issued if you're under the age of 21 when you got your CDL, and medical waiver. If you're medically unable to, if you're medically unable to get a DOT physical, you can still have a CDL, but you'll have that K restriction, which means you can't drive across state lines. I've done that owner-operator. I had my stuff registered North Carolina only, and I really didn't have no desire to drive interstate, which is, across state lines and they're back. Yes, a couple times I did have to go into another state to grab a piece of equipment that I purchased. That is okay. For the truck, because I got a permit, one-trip permit, as far as getting an intrastate registered truck across state lines, get a permit for that one-time permit. That's it. But your driver's license, you got that K restriction. I could not have drove that over there. That ain't good. So, there may be some loops in that. As far as there may be some loops in that between the truck and having a K and having a one-time trip. But other than that, intrastate is a K restriction. You can't drive outside of state lines. Yeah, to get that, you have to be under 21 or cannot have a medical waiver. So that's it on that. Let's move on. M's passenger Class BC. So that applies when the driver has a Class A license, Class A CDL, but takes a skills test for passenger endorsement in a Class B vehicle. It's weird, ain't it? Yeah, that's a lot. That's confusing as crap. I'm going to read that again. Passenger restriction, or M restriction, means passenger Class BC. You can only haul passengers in a Class B or C vehicle. So that applies when a driver has a Class A CDL, but takes a skills test for passenger endorsement in a Class B vehicle. I did that. but I did not have the M restriction. I don't know what. I don't know how that integrates. Okay, Class A vehicle. Let's see. Class A passenger vehicle. Those are. I haven't seen one with my own eyes, but I've seen pictures of them. I'll add one in here. But Class A passenger vehicles are your articulating vehicles. So your pulling unit can haul 16 or more passengers, and your towed unit connected to that, which makes it a Class A vehicle, can haul 16 or more passengers. And it's that's what that is. That's the Class A passenger vehicle. Um, so N is passenger Class B, C, same thing, but that applies when the driver has a Class A or B CDL but takes a skills test endorsement in a Class C vehicle. I guess it is what it says, because I honestly cannot relate to that. I don't know how that applies. In restriction applies when the driver has a Class A or B CDL but takes the skills test for the passenger endorsement in a Class C vehicle. I'm trying to think. Your church buses or church vans, 16 persons. That's a Class C. That's not a Class C vehicle because it's hauling 16 or more. Hmm. Okay, let's take your smaller 15 or less vehicle. That'd be a Class C vehicle. But you're doing it for you're taking that vehicle and trying to get a passenger endorsement with it. They'll give you an N restriction. Um, P restriction. P is in Paul. Don't get that confused with the passenger endorsement. This is a P restriction, meaning no passengers in a CMV bus. Commercial learner permit only. That applies to commercial learner permits only. You cannot, if you have that restriction, you cannot have passengers in that vehicle that is designed to hold 15, 16 or more people and have a learner's permit, commercial learner's permit. It Yeah, that restriction applies to commercial learner permits only. If you're going after the passenger endorsement, so you cannot have passengers while you're driving. That person that's riding with you of that class license and endorsements can only drive if you have that many more passengers on there. If you have more than your 16 passengers. Um, X X X restriction. No cargo and tanker. CLP only. No cargo and tanker. That's odd. That's really odd. So if he has an X restriction and it says no cargo and tanker, CLP only. So you got a commercial owner's permit. Okay, you got Boss Man riding with you. He has a tanker endorsement. And you have an X restriction. There better not be a drop of anything in that tanker. That's what that says. If you forcefully have to, then let someone else drive. Don't put yourself on the bind for somebody else. So there is a bunch more restrictions. I mean, there are a good bit of restrictions out there, like BAC content restrictions and all that jazz. But that's your highlights of the commercial license. I mean, I can talk all day about this stuff. I know I've been able to talk about this for a hot minute. I hope I didn't lose any of you. But drop in the comments below and just let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to make more videos about situations like this as I see it go along the issues. So here's examples of your Class A vehicles. There's your doubles. There's your triples. Look at there, they got tanker doubles. And this is just your regular combination combination truck, tractor, and trailer. And here's your tank, single Class A tank. Right there's your Class B vehicles, commonly seen. Yes, your dump trucks, concrete trucks. Here's a little flatbed truck. I would assume, since it is in the Group B, so I assume that trailer is GVWR less than 10,001 pounds. It's probably 9,000 or something. And that truck right there, it's probably at like 26,000. But another Class B's, there's your Greyhound buses, city buses, school bus, your standard box truck, and so forth. Your Class C vehicles, or Group C's, however you want to call them. Here, hang on, designed to transport 16 or more passengers. Same vehicle, combination vehicle that meets neither definition of designed to haul 16 or more passengers. So yeah, this includes any quantity of chemical or biochemical or agent posing a threat to national security, including toxins. So you can have a Class C. You can have a Class C CDL because you can have hazmat. So yeah, pickup truck. That placard. He's hauling a placarded amount. This car is hauling a placarded amount of toxin or hazmat. So is that van. Those are your Class C CDL, because you'd have to have a hazmat endorsement. So, and there's your bus there. That's 15 or less. That'd be in your Group C's. Here's a little thing for your endorsements there. There's your double triples. Like I said, triples, don't bring them in North Carolina. Don't haul them around in the state of North Carolina. Yeah, you get in trouble, big trouble. So doubles only in North Carolina. I can't remember what state specifically has the triples, but they're out there. They're nowhere near here though. Your H, which is your hazmat, any size vehicle. Passenger endorsement, buses, things that are over, designed to haul 16 or more passengers. School bus endorsement, school bus, anything that says school bus and meets the definition of a school bus. Your X, tanker and hazmat, so your propane guys, fuel gas guys, and gals, sorry. In tanker endorsement, anything with a tank on it that's over the 119 gallons and 1,000 gallons or more. So there you go. Sorry, this is a long video. I know I know I kind of winded it a little bit, but I try to give the best information I can from my experience and from what and for what my job is now. So yeah, I am sworn to uphold the laws of North Carolina and United States Constitution. So I want to educate everyone out there. If you do see me on the road, and if I do pull you over for any reason, by God, I'm going to educate you the best I can. If you deserve a ticket, you deserve a ticket. That's all there is to it. So be safe. Hope I helped you out. Let's make this country good. I want to see everybody succeed in their endeavors as far as commercial vehicles go. Anything commercial, you start your own business, do anything. Entrepreneurs, guys, good luck to you out there. I still have a side business myself. Yeah, that's it. So drop in the comments, like and subscribe. Like I said, if you have any questions, concerns, any peculiar situations that I didn't cover, drop them in the comments, and I'll do my best to look it up and see and give you what I can. I look at the federal stuff too as well, just to match up with what I see in North Carolina. So, like I said, I'm going to harp on North Carolina laws because I only know North Carolina laws. I don't know South Carolina laws. I don't know Virginia laws, but they all follow. When it comes to commercial motor vehicles, they all federal. They were all federal regulated, so it's universal. Commercial motor vehicles are universal. Like I said, you tractor trailers here. It's going to be a tractor trailer in California. Tractor trailer here is probably not going to be a tractor trailer in Africa. or Antarctica, whatever you want to call it. Either way. So yeah, this country's pretty well regulated on their commercial motor vehicles. A lot of that legalese stuff can be confusing for guys. I know it was confusing for me when I first got into it, but once I started reading and actually asking people, talking to people, watching videos, I got an understanding and grasp of it. I pretty much figured it out. So I want to pass my stuff along. Anyway, again, thanks guys. I'll catch y'all later.